Hello everybody, I'm Pastor Chris and my trusty host next to me is Ara.
Hello.
And behind the camera is Heidi, as always, very faithful and efficient. So we welcome you to our Webisode. This is our first Webisode for some time. And we've enjoyed having the break from doing them, but we've also enjoyed coming back to them. So today our subject will be around Money Matters. The series we're doing right now is Money Matters for the 5 weeks we're in. And we're on the letter N, so M-O-N-E-Y, so N is the needs of others. So we're looking at needs. And we had the privilege last Sunday morning and evening, but last Sunday morning we had Pastor Peter Shirley. And he brought a very dynamic approach to the needs of others. Do you think so?
I think so.
I think so. It was quite hard. It was quite moving, actually. It was.
Yeah.
It really did touch people's hearts. And I was watching my wife. She had tears in her eyes. I thought,
Yeah,
this is
me
getting.
too.
Oh, you too.
Yeah, it's like kind of like reflects on my side as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, that's fine. So he really emphasised the present world with a need. Was it a sense of entitlement? That the world today, young people today, more than the older people, but have a sense of entitlement. The world revolves around them. And a lot of adults have this as well. It's not just kids by any means, by any stretch of imagination. And he said we've moved away from a heart of gratitude.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Sure.
Now, you're a young mum, and you got teenagers.
Yeah.
So you would see it more than I would. Because they would bring home this this view of the world or how the world operates from school and social media.
Yep.
How do you teach your kids to have a care or a focus on other people?
First, I was working with other people in the community, and they saw what I'm doing, and sometimes I talk to them about what I'm doing. Especially if there's some very different people, like hard to approach sometimes, and keep telling them, how to deal with others, and they see how I'm helping others as well. So that way, I'm teaching them how to help others as well.
So you lead by example.
Yeah.
Did they ever get involved?
Yeah. Yeah. If they can, yes, they do.
Is it a battle? Like, are you fighting this selfish? I'm not saying your kids are selfish, but this selfish attitude in the world.
They are sometimes. They're sometimes. Why me? Why me? Then I have to explain why you should.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I think it's good because I can see it in your kids. Sometimes they do have a heart for others, willing to serve, and. But that's what I see. I don't know what goes behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Peter spoke on. He spoke about William Booth and how he had this attitude of serving others, and the Salvation Army is framed around that actually. And I used to be in the Salvation Army. I used to be a YPSM in the Salvation Army. And they do have a huge strength and an arm of looking after people, whether it's through alcoholic programs or orphanage programs and feeding programs. There's a whole array of different things they do. And they've shifted, but the unfortunate part is they kept maintaining the church side as well as that. Has been a struggle for the Salvation Army. And so you can tend to end up doing charity works rather than God works. But they are well known for it, and if you're in a Salvation Army uniform, you can walk into a prison. It just opens doors for you, and because their reputation goes before them.
Yeah.
And so, in a world where it's about me rather than we,
Yeah.
and the focus.
Right. Yeah.
Have you noticed this?
In some areas, yes.
Yeah. Okay. He was saying that our true identity is in Christ, and not in what we do. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
How do you find your identity in Christ, or how do we find our identity in Christ?
For me, doing what Jesus says, like, he said, take up your cross and follow me. That's what I'm always thinking of myself. If I want to lead an example to my children and or show others that, I believe in Christ, I believe in Jesus, I have to do the example how he lives. Like even people go against you, even people stab you on the back, you still have to show compassion and love to others or help them even.
Now, if I was to say to you, how do you do it? Specifically, how do you get that heart?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just in my heart, I just want to help. Yeah.
What about your identity in Christ?
My identity in Christ.
He tells us who we are.
When I was becoming a Christian, at first I don't know who I am, and then when it touches my heart, when I became a Christian and see people around me, and it seems like it's showing me the path where I'm going, because I don't know at first. I keep asking him, where should I go? Where should I go? And then he leads me. I just know he leads me on the path where I should go. That's where I find my identity, because he's the one who lead me.
Okay.
So I can't exactly say that what my identity is, but I know that God with Jesus is working in my life, and he's the one who's leading me.
Well, that's very evident in you. That's very good. I suppose, what's your position in God then? Probably another way of saying it. Like, are you his servant? Are you his friend? Are you his daughter? Like, how do you see yourself?
He's my all in all.
Covered all bases.
Yeah. So I just want to be the servant. There's someone says, "Oh, we have to do this to be a leader." I said, "No, I don't do this to be a leader. I just want to do this because I love Jesus and I want to be his servant." The song, "Sit on his feet." That's all I wanted to do.
That's good. Yeah. And you do. That's good. All right. Peter spoke, Pastor Peter, he spoke from this second Philippians 2, verses 2 to 4. Yeah. And part of that is saying, by having a like-mindedness of Christ, or have the same love, being of one accord, one mind. It's always coming back to everybody having the same thinking or the same motivation or the same position. Let nothing be done through selfish ambition or conceit, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than themselves. I should be having my glasses on. And so we were talking about that before we went to this air. We were talking about this, that it's not about making ourselves lower. It's not trying to be inferior or diminish ourselves. It's actually to lift others higher than where they are at the moment. Lift them higher than us, but lift them higher, not diminish ourselves. Because that becomes debasing ourselves and watering us down, or running ourselves down, and that's not good.
Yeah. So what you consider, who is others for you?
Others is, for me, there's two layers of that for me. There is others are the people who depends where I operate, but others are anybody who's got something that they can contribute to in any place. I lift that, and it's not behaviour. It's spite of behaviour, actually. But if it's in my family, then it's in a different place, because in family, you tell them, acknowledge what their giftings are, or their strengths are, or their accomplishments are, and like I tell people that I used to be a drummer in a rock band, but nobody's seen me play drums. Because I haven't done it for 20, 30 years. And so, but Michael is a fantastic drummer, and I was never that good.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't tell people that. Well, no, everyone knows. But
That's my dream actually. When I was a kid, I want to learn to play drums.
yeah,
Yeah.
we should ask Michael to teach you.
I was thinking sometimes buy a little set of drum and practice it myself. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, I noticed that your heart, like you spoke about, you had tears when Pastor Peter was talking about his sponsored little
Indian
girls.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think everybody had a tear about that. That was a really touching story.
Mm-hmm.
But not just a story; it's life.
Yeah.
Now I noticed that there are a whole lot of boxes in our church full of stuff. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. It was my dream to help others, especially my countrymen, like the Philippines, because I grew up in very poor places. I grew up as a poor kid, and I was also sponsored by American family when I was
Right.
a kid from young age till high school. And yeah, so I know the feeling of, being nothing and then have someone to help me, like strangers. I don't know them, like we're not related, and they help me out and till, but that's the sense of gratitude that I can't give it back to them,
Yeah.
but I wanted to do it the same thing to others. So,
It's very good.
yeah. And that box is, I know it's not as good, it's not that much, but I mean to say it's much for them.
Yeah.
Those, especially if it comes from the other country, especially Australia, how many kids, even when I was young, I was really into those good things that coming from America, because I have auntie from America and they send boxes even before, chocolates and stuff, toys. So I was happy. And they would say, what about just send money? I know money, but money just come and go quickly, and having that thing or even one toy from overseas, and you will keep that. You will treasure it, It's like, yeah.
And I also noticed that you did something else with the a water scheme that you had going.
What is keep?
I didn't know how to word that.
It's a business.
Yeah, the business. Okay.
Yeah.
What made you want to do that?
As I said, I grew up in a very poor family. So I wanted to help my family. I'm the youngest in 4 siblings, and it's hard to find a job, and even it's hard to finish school, even to high school. So not many children finishes school there because lack of money. They don't have anything to buy, and it's hard to find. I have my first daughter, and I've been struggling to find a job for myself to feed my own child, And then I think that business that I decided to do is for my family, because I also supporting them. I said, why not give you one time a business that you can, progress and work it for yourself.
So you set up the business for them.
Yeah, for them.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Even I could keep it myself and do whatever, but yeah, I think from the very beginning till I, started to think the life of us, that's my what do you call it? My dream, to give them something that they can
Yeah, that's really
treasure.
good.
Yeah.
Pastor Peter was saying that the focus should be on others, and it's exactly what you're saying. And but there has to be an element of wisdom involved, because I had a neighbour who was a Baptist in New Zealand, and he used to help street kids. And he was in his 40s, and he used to help them. He was a single guy, and he used to put money into their projects, or the feeding them, or clothing, whatever's going on, transport for the different ones to do different things. And one day he came to me and he said, I'm moving. and he was living in a flat. He said, I'm moving. And I said, so why are you moving? He said, I'm $20,000 in debt. And I said, but you're just you on your own. Yeah, I've been giving all my money away. And I said, but you gave money away and you went into debt with it. And you continued to do that. And he goes, yes. I said, okay. And now, so what now? Well, now I'm homeless. I can't pay back the money. And we're talking about 1982. So this is $20,000 is a lot of money then.
Yeah.
And so we've got to be careful that we are wise with our money, we're good stewards with our money, and then we obey God into whatever we put it into.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to be foolish with it either,
Yeah.
or presumptuous with it. And so when God touches our heart with something like with your heart, then the next question is, so how do I respond? What do you want me to do? Not just assume, no, let's just do this, let's just give all that money to it. Let's sell a car and give it all away. If God says to do that, yes, but if he doesn't say to do that, no. We have to exercise wisdom.
Yep.
And so that's the wrap, really, for this webisode.
Yep.
Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, we said consider others, but we also have limitation. Like,
And your own
whatever,
family.
whatever we can give, but just think about you have to leave some for yourself as well.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
So we're blessed to have Peter Shirley, Pastor
Yes.
Peter Shirley, come and see us, and that was really an eye-opener, a reminder, a teaching, whatever it is for whoever it's for. So we're thankful and grateful for that. Thank you for today.
Thank you.
And church, we ask you to go pray about this, talk about this, ask questions about this, enjoy this message, enjoy his message, that is, and enjoy your walk in the Lord. So bless you, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.